We are arriving in Torvik, which will be our last stop while we're awake tonight. We're still in an area with multiple small little finger islands, very rocky. You can see in the back probably a fish trawler or cargo vessel coming out. Big wind farm up in the hills. What a beautiful little bay there. I'm surprised that people haven't used that for a cottage. Oh, no problem.
Mine damer og herrer, Havila Pollux anløber nu Torvik og afgang klokken 9.30. Vi vil takke vores sine gæster for turen, og vi håber, at du har haft en behagelig rejse med os, og ønsker dig velkommen tilbage ved en senere anledning. Tusind tak og på gensyn. Ladies and gentlemen, Havila Pollux is now calling at Torvik, and departure will be at 9:30 p.m. We thank all disembarking guests for traveling with us, and we hope that you have enjoyed your stay on board and wish you will come back. Thank you, and welcome back on board. Meine Damen und Herren, Havila Pollux läuft jetzt Torvik an. Abfahrt ist um 20.
Und wir begegnen auch in diesem Moment unser Schwesterschiff Havila Voyages. På styrbordssiden så kan dere se Munkholmen, og Munkholmen det var som kjent et kloster her, som ble grunnlagt av kong Knut den Mektige i 1028. På 1600-tallet ble det omgjort til festing og så til fengsel, og i våre dager så er Munkholmen et populært utfartssted om sommeren for så vel lokalbefolkningen som også for turister. Vi seiler nå ut til Trondheimsfjorden, som er Norges tredje lengste fjord og 130 km lang. Also Stolperdirekte, meine Damen und Herren, sehen Sie jetzt Munkholmen, der Munchinsel. König Knut den Mächtige errichtete hier im Jahr 1828 ein Kloster. Das Kloster wurde im 17. Jahrhundert zu einer Festung und zu einem Gefängnis umgebaut. Heute ist die Insel im Sommer eine beliebte Ausflugszeit, sowohl für die Lokalbevölkerung als auch für Touristen. Und wir fahren nun wieder zum Meer durch den Trondheimsfjord. Und der Fjord hat eine Länge von 130 Kilometer und ist der drittlängste Fjord Norwegens. Ladies and gentlemen, on the starboard side you can now see Munkholmen, the Monk's Island, and King Knut the Great founded the monastery here in 1028, and the monastery was rebuilt into a fortress and then into a prison in the 17th century. Nowadays, during the summer, Munkholmen is a popular spot for outings, both for locals as well as for tourists. We will now be sailing out to Trondheim shore, which is 130 km long, and also Norway's third longest fjord.
We've just left Trondheim, which is way back up the fjord here. Which, by the way, I overheard is 130 kilometers long, which is about 70 miles. And all along the shore, going up, we've seen these double-sided ferries. Let me go in a little bit closer here. Which provide service out to the islands. And they're on one side, off the other side besides. So the crew just has to go to the other side of the bridge. It's kind of like having two ships in one where there are two bows. Since they all look the same, it certainly looks like they're funded and provided and maybe even managed by the Norwegian government. But they are all over up here, carrying people out to the outer islands. We are in the Trondheim Fjord, traveling south, and we're now noticing, of course, that trees are creeping further up the sides of the mountains. And here we see, for the first time, coming south, more manicured lawns and fields. The reason I stopped was because coming out from behind this copse of trees over here will be a red burgundy car in a moment. And now, of course, I don't see him. So that could have been a tractor or something, but they're all cut, very nicely manicured, and all of these little homes are connected by a road along the base of the hills. Absolutely beautiful area. And there's a little car right there, a little white car. You can get an idea of the scale. We're now arriving at Kristiansund, which is a town of about 25,000. Had a couple of helicopters go over. We've heard that this is a supply base for the Norwegian. A supply base for the Norwegian oil industry. The town straddles over 4 little islands. See, the houses are pretty much straddling the coastline, not being built up on the rocky sides of the hill there. It looks like an interesting little warehouse. I hope they haven't turned it into a hotel. Like they're all built at the same time. There was a mine operation as we were coming out of town. Not sure what that was. Maybe just gravel. Pretty little town. I think they're apartment buildings.
Yeah, they're like into the side of the hill. I wonder
Yeah.
what they're really like.
We might have to look up some real estate.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be interesting. Yeah.
For Christians to
It's a pretty
find
big
out.
city.
Yeah, it is. They say 25,000.
Now, maybe citizens here.
Hold on here.
Okay.
Those are, some are enclosed and some aren't. I wonder if they put
Yeah, maybe they have a screw that comes down.
yeah. Or maybe they put panels on in the wintertime.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, here's a little ferry coming in over there. See the people getting off?
where's that?
Right there.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Looks pretty residential.
Pretty much a straight shot in town. It's really a very pretty town. Lots of very interesting different styles of apartments here. for a boat in Norway, the Sea Liberty one. Probably serves the oil rigs, but I'm going to check that out and find out. toward Bergen, about probably halfway between Floro and Bergen. And here's another island ferry. Over there you can see where it came from, and it's going to pass right astern of us. We had our 3 Norwegian Navy rib boats fly past us a while ago. Don't know where they went, or if they went back to their base, or whatever. Mainland is further away now, and the mountains are less conspicuous than they were further north. But still beautiful. So we're passing through a number of small islands on the way to Bergen. I'm really curious about the extent to which any of these channels have been dredged. I mean, we're passing within a couple of 100 feet of some of these rocky outbursts. There have to be things that look like this under the surface of the water as well. We're starting to see trees now. Marshy area out there. The colors today are very much UP colors. Rock and green and deep blue. The sky isn't quite as clear as we're used to in the UP, but right now they would be loaded with Canadian wildfire smoke, so this is pretty good. And we're seeing more whitecaps now than we've seen for quite some time. The wind is picked up quite a bit from last night and earlier in the morning. Haven't spotted any evidence of Bergen yet. We're still about an hour off. Wending our way around the little islands, zigzagging along. Probably about 10 miles from Bergen. I see another salmon farm on the left. There are more houses off to our right. Off in the distance. As you can hear, it's really windy down here. We haven't had winds like this in the entire trip. We would have had them up in the Barents Sea. We might have gotten seasick, but we didn't. So I think we have to go around this next bend before we get into town. I think that those are the parts of Bergen that are north of town. So we'll come back and check again before I get blown away here.